Yo, what is going on, my Magic Knights? It is your boy Lota here, back with another Black Clover mobile video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about Day 1 SSRs. Who's worth it? Who should you dupe in the future? And overall, who's going to last you the longest in the game? Now, as per usual, before I get into the video, I'd like to ask y'all if my content is helpful to you, then make sure to like and subscribe. Alongside that, within the next week, I will be opening up a Discord server. It will be my global guild, so if you guys would like to interact with me or join the guild on global, make sure to click the Discord link in the description below. I will be sending out an announcement there, which will have a link to the guild for people that want to join. But that being said, let's get into the video. Now, just to make it easier and quicker for you guys, and also so you guys do not get bored, I'm just going to be going down in order, in no particular reason. I will probably, at the end of the video, drop a little tier list of who you should dupe for like the total, but outside of that, just try and remember, I will extremely stress who's good and who's not. Now, our first unit for William. That's it for William? Bruh. Now, our first unit for Season 1 is going to be William. Now, he's going to be your fastest character in the game at max dupe, so to answer your question, is he worth duping? Yes, he should be like your first priority for a max dupe due to the fact that he outspeeds every single character in the entire game when you see max dupe him, and he's extremely useful max duped for at least, say give or take, the first 3-ish seasons, maybe 4. Don't quote me on the 4th season, but I know that he will be strong through 1 and 3. Now, alongside that, his dupes are also worth it, as we said. It gives him a 30% chance to get a increased mobility buff. Alongside that, it just buffs his overall speed. Extremely worth it, #1 priority for duping. Next unit's going to be Lotus. As I talked about in his video, he's going to be an extremely strong AoE debuffer that everyone should be getting off reroll banner guaranteed day 1. His dupes are iffy. I can't really say dupe him. I really suggest not duping him, and if you just get a Lotus dupe to toss it into bond boxes to make it easier for you or an LR some other characters. But Lotus is overall just not going to be worth it until later. I remember there being a part in JP and KR where max dupe Lotus was being used to counteract the current meta, but outside of that, he's just not going to be too useful duped, and so do not waste your money. 0 dupe Lotus is going to be perfectly fine for you. Now, Raya. Our boy Raya will not be available day 1, but he's going to be basically just a green Yami. Only difference between him, though, is his partner skill, which I'll go over when we get to Lota. But his dupes are not really worth it due to the fact that after Season 1, Raya will fall out of PvP meta and he will become just a green PvE unit. So do not dupe him. Just toss his dupes into bond boxes. Trust me, you won't regret it. Unless you just like seeing max stars, then go for it. But from the free-to-play perspective, do not dupe him. Not worth it. Use his dupe to get yourself some extra resources. Our girl Fauna. Now, Fauna will have another version later towards the end, but her dupes are extremely good to an extent. But while her dupes are good, the unit itself is going to be probably your best blue attacker for a hot second. Right alongside, blue Yami, you can run Fauna, blue Yami, Lotus, and William, or like Mars and William, Fauna. But her dupes in theory are worth it, but I don't suggest it just because of the fact that you're going to see your Fauna excelling a lot more in PvE content, which obviously will not require dupes. Now, our boy Licht. Licht is an interesting one. Now, he's an extremely strong unit overall, but his dupes are quite literally worthless. His dupe passive is good, but the reason why duping him is worthless is because as soon as Season 2 drops, you're going to see him drop off the face of the earth. No one will be running Licht. So, unless you just want to be first place throughout Season 1, just for the bragging rights, don't dupe your Licht. I really can't suggest it. As I said, use his dupe to get some free resources to LR and UR other characters. Now, the reason why Licht and Raya are going to be strong together, though, is because of their team ult. They quite literally clear the entire stadium as long as they get to go first. That's all what Season 1's going to be looking like. But when that time comes, we'll talk about that in a video. Now, our boy Mars, as we stated in another video, so I won't be going over him too in-depth. Extremely strong, the strongest defender in the entire game. Extremely good in PvE and PvP. You can get him off reroll banner, though I wouldn't suggest it because of Lotus being around. But his dupes are extremely worth it. I think right after you max dupe your William, your second priority should be max duping your Mars due to the reduced damage taken. He's going to be the ultimate tank with his dupes, and it is extremely worth it in the longevity of the game. Now, you are going to be getting a free Charlotte, I'm pretty sure, as long as they copy what Canadian version did. So, are her dupes worth it? To make it easy, no, her dupes are not worth it. You get a free one of her anyways, and a dupe 0 Charlotte will work perfectly fine. You're also mainly just going to be seeing her in PvE. There will be some Charlotte in PvP, because if I recall, I think Charlotte and Mars together were a good team or something like that for a while. So, maybe, but in my opinion, it's not worth it. Seasonal Mimosa. Won't be going over all the seasonal units too in depth, because I'm going to be making videos later this week on all of them. But to sum up, Mimosa, her ult basically revives a fallen enemy. Or I said a fallen enemy? What the hell? A fallen ally. Her skill 2 is going to heal the entirety of your team. And her dupe's going to grant reduced damage taken. Now, Mimosa's dupes, I can say, are entirely worth it. I definitely don't think she has a priority. I think if you get her dupes, go ahead and give them to her. But I don't think she's like a, oh, you need to max dupe this character. I think she's just a nice add-on to have dupe due to the reduced damage taken and how well of a healer she's going to be. Now, our boy Seasonal Asta. Now, as I fucked up and called him Schoolgirl Asta last video, we're gonna act like that didn't happen, and hopefully he won't kick my ass this video for it. But Seasonal Asta is going to be an extremely strong unit. His ult's going to give you an extra turn under correct circumstances, and you're also going to be getting a increased damage dealt buff when you're attacking a buff. Now, alongside that, his Wild Dance is going to be extremely strong single target. As you can see, he's going to increase his attack and increase his mobility. And his skill 1 is just going to be his basic attack, which is also kind of cracked. Now, his dupes. He gets an attack increase at the start of a wave. And so, I think 2-dupe Asta is worth it. I definitely don't think max duping him is worth it. But I could be wrong, that's just my personal opinion. I feel like he isn't worth max duping. I definitely do think, you know, maybe 2-duping him is fine. But outside of that, not really worth it in my opinion. Now, Blue Yami. You will get Blue Yami for free, so you definitely can, as a free-to-play, attempt to get dupes for him. His dupes are going to be damage dealt, which is obviously in the name. You're just going to get a lot more damage out of Blue Yami. He's right alongside Asta, the strongest single target of the seasonal units. And so, skill 2 is going to be an AoE, which gives HP recovery immunity, meaning that they cannot be given or healed, per se. Now, I'd also like to talk about something with Yami, and it's just that you're going to be getting this unit for free. Please do not pull for him at the start. I will show you guys how to get him for absolutely free. In fact, I will show you guys how to get any seasonal unit for absolutely free. So just stay tuned later this week to figure that out. Now, Leopold. Leopold's a iffy unit. He's a unit that only works well with his brother, first of all. So if you don't have Fuego, he's not going to be worth it. And even then with Fuego, I feel like he's still kinda mid. His dupes are totally not worth it in the slightest because he's just an irrelevant character. I think that maybe in the future of Global, if Burn ever gets buffed, you might see him creep back in the meta with Fuego. But yeah, no, def not going to be something you want to waste your free-to-play gems on. Now, Veto, he's going to be a more PvE unit than PvP. I have genuinely never saw him ran in PvP. And if he ever was, that person had a fully duped and cracked video. So, off rip, his dupe's going to be reduced damage taken when attacked by a boss. So, as you can see, more PvE based of a unit. He gets lifesteal on most of his moves, so he's going to basically be draining. You just need to maybe shield him and have a little bit of HP, but he's gonna have passive HP recovery. Now, with that being said, we move on to right alongside probably your third priority for max duping, and this is going to be our boy Radies. Now, you guys will come to hate this unit just as much as I hate this unit later into the lifespan of Global, because in Season 2, you will see him be a lot more prominent. Now, his ultimate is going to give them a shield, increased endurance, and status element immunity. This is what matters alongside this, because if he gets to ult first, say goodbye to your stun. The reason for that is because if you're running Mars, Radies can hard counter him, as long as he gets to go first. If you can maybe get lucky and go first before the Radies, then GG's. You most likely stunned him. If you didn't, well, GG's, good game. Now, his dupes are not worth it because it's just going to be a self-inflicting taunt when attacked. So, say for example, Yami attacks Radius, then Yami's going to be taunted onto attacking Radius for the duration of the turn. So, yeah, that's about that. Nozel. I have no words for this character. To quickly sum up Nozel, he's been done horrendously ever since the beta for this game came out. He was alright in the beta, and then the official versions for this game dropped, and he's been absolutely shit. Not worth it in the slightest. If you get him, be sad that you got him, because he's honestly just not worth it. You get a free blue debuffer, aka Lotus, who's going to survive and hold you for like a long time. Nozel's just not worth it, even with the revamp of his kit. He still was complete dog ass. I don't know what the devs did to him, and I don't know what he did to deserve this treatment, but he's just unfortunately a horrendous unit. Rill is an interesting one while we're on the topic of horrendous, because he's not bad, but he's not the craziest unit ever. Now, his ult has a chance to stun the entire team, kinda just like Mars's mind attack. He will ult the whole team. There will be a % chance to stun said unit or said units. Worst case scenario, you get full stun, in which case, forfeit. I really don't think you're surviving the next turn. But he's going to be extremely strong unit, 0 duped. I don't really think you need to get his passive, as it's just increased damage against a defender, but he's alright. Another unit, unfortunately, right alongside Nozel that you should be sad that you got is going to be Homeboy Jack. Now, while I genuinely do love Jack's character design and how he is, he's kinda bad in this game. His dupes are going to be an increased damage dealt upon attacking an enemy afflicted with continuous damage, aka half of his kit. So, things like bleed, burn, those type of things is what his dupes are going to help beat him into. Overall, he's not worth it. You're going to toss him out as soon as you get someone better. I mean, shit, for example, some SR'S are better than him. Probably normal Yuno and normal Asta are better than Jack. But he's just, fortunately, not worth it. Now, I'm going to quickly go over the last 2 SSR'S that I do not own on this account, unfortunately. As I talked about in the previous video, our boy Red Yami will be available for a raid up on day 1 of the global. Now, Raya, I already stated, copies Yami's entire kit, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with Yami's kit. Basically the exact same as Raya's, for the most part. And his dupe's going to be a PvE dupe. Now, Red Yami is actually going to be an extremely strong PvE and PvP unit. I don't think duping him out is worth it unless you just want to, but having Yami in general is going to be pretty nice. The last Season 1 SSR that you're going to be able to get is going to be our homegirl, Sally. Now, as much as it pains me to say this because I'm a huge Sally fan myself, she is a solid character, but I definitely don't think that she's like anything worth going crazy over on Global due to the fact that you won't really see her relevant until Season 2. And even then, I'm pretty sure there's a different buffer that's even better than Sally in Season 2. So, Sally, unfortunately, sits, like, at this mid spot between, like, she could be extremely good, but she's also not extremely bad. She's just in that middle area where you have a buffer, but maybe the only time you're going to run Sally is with Red Yami in PvP. But outside of that, folks, I'm going to toss it up here, right here, as you guys can see. This is my tier dupe prioritization. This is probably in order. This should be in order of what I would prioritize duping your characters in. But that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little bit more of a scuffed video today. I tried taking a different approach to how I made these videos. Make sure to comment down below whether this one was better or worse than my other ones, and I'll take that into account when uploading my next few videos. But I hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see y'all later. Peace, everyone.